I don't know about you, but I need to spend way less time on this thing. I'm tired of it. You're tired of it. We are sick of it, of being on our freaking phones all day long. All day, all night. I think on average, people spend 59 hours per week on their phones. That's more than a full-time job. And I'm not okay with that, and you shouldn't be either. So today we are making a dopamine menu, but we're making it cute and crafty. If you hadn't heard about the concept of a dopamine menu, it's basically creating a list of things that you can do for a dopamine hit that don't include doom scrolling or whatever toxic habit that you have. Of course, we all love a bit of screen time. I'm not here to ever tell you to completely delete everything and like live off the grid. I don't think that's realistic for many of us. But if you're like me, you might be someone who really values just like enjoying life. And I'm not enjoying life when I'm doom scrolling. I'm just not. There are other things I want to do, whether they're creative or productive. So we're going to make a menu together. But first, let's make a little matcha. I have this pure chip matcha that you keep in the fridge actually, and it says to cold whisk it, which I think have been the instructions on this matcha even before that was a trend. So we might as well make it iced. Clearly it's best cold. Oh, how I wish that was. Because I don't have like a mini sieve for the matcha, I like to sort of brush out the clumps with the matcha brush, no liquid yet. If you wanted a random tip, like, it doesn't really matter. Gotta make sure we get all the matcha, you know? Cheers! Now we're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to get right into making this dopamine menu, but first I want to show you some elements that I'm going to use to make this really, really cute, and I'm gonna get it printed, which you'll see in this video. Like, I'm being very extra with this, and I've seen people do this as cute little like scrapbooking projects, but honestly, I'm not that talented in scrapbooking, so I just wanna make it on Canva, and I want it to look really nice and last a long time. Can everyone see my screen? These are some really cute elements that I just found searching like cute Canva elements on Pinterest. You have this one, lots of hobbies. I really want this like hand-drawn, like painted, kind of vintagey, just like aesthetic vibe. And I love these. Then we have these, which are very lifestyle focused. Maybe I can use some of them, I'm not sure. These, which are some like sweets, but also beauty things, which, you know, food, beauty, it makes sense for this menu because while there's not really food items on the menu, or I don't think there's going to be, it's like a nod to the fact that it's called a dopamine menu. Okay. I know for sure that I want a menu that has this sort of vibe, and specifically the squiggly border. I don't know, maybe it's really freaking basic, but I love it. However, this menu template is using pro features, and I'd rather this be like accessible. Maybe I'll even share the Canva template. I don't know, let me know if you want the template after I make it. But I found this template that's completely free and it has a squiggle border, but we're going to change a lot on this because right now it's a bit boring. But first, let's start off by talking about what we actually want to be in the menu. So here's how we're going to define the different parts of the dopamine menu. Starters are things that you can do in like 5-10 minutes. You don't have to really think about it. You don't have to set anything up. You know, when you have a starter, you're hungry, you just want something quick, but you also don't want to spoil your appetite and use up all your energy. For mains, these are like bigger things you can do to enjoy and pass the time. Maybe it involves setting up some equipment. Maybe it involves going somewhere. Something that is probably going to take like 45 minutes or an hour or even more, depending on how much time you have. And while all of these things are enjoyable, of course, you know, the reason why we don't spend all of our free time doing the things we love is because sometimes they feel too hard. And I think that's the whole point of a dopamine menu, is to like have these different options to remind yourself that not everything you love to do is hard to set up. Maybe some things are, but you can have your starters, you can have your sides, etc. Speaking of sides for me are things that you can do you know, while you're working or while you're being productive in some other way. They're much more passive activities and probably don't take that much like attention and focus, but they just make your environment more enjoyable while you're doing the things that maybe you don't really want to do. And finally, desserts, you know, little sweet treats. I'm seeing that as things that are like very obviously pleasurable. They're low effort, you know, they might currently be the things that you go to right away now, but maybe don't give you as much like long-term satisfaction. And they're things that you probably want to enjoy in moderation because you have all these other options on your little menu. So I already have some ideas written out and I'm gonna spend some time filling them out and then share them with you. Okay, so for the starters, on my personal dopamine menu, language practice, like a quick little Duolingo sesh. Second, a little crochet session. For me personally, like my yarn and my hook is always out, so that's why I put this in starters, because it's something that I can do just like, you know, take a little 5-minute break from work or from whatever I'm doing and do something creative. Next, skincare and hair care. It makes me feel good, but I'm not always motivated to do it, so that's the intention behind putting it in my dopamine menu. Making a quick little coffee or matcha, again, something I do every day. And finally, for the starters, a 5-minute journaling session. Sometimes you just need to like clear your mind and do some stream of consciousness. However, I tend to like end up journaling for a really long time if I do start. So saying just like, this is going to be for 5 minutes as a starter, I think that'll work for me. Okay, for main, so things that are going to take a bit more time and effort to like take that first step are crochet and couch time. So, you know, saying I'm taking a proper break right now, I'm going to get a significant amount of crochet done and focus on it. That's super fun for me, but it does take a lot of time. Sewing, I have a mental block of like just the fact that I need to take out my sewing machine and like, how do you say that? Oh, and thread the machine. Anyways, I want to have this on my menu because I do like sewing and I have so many sewing whips, so need to get on that. Next is scrapbooking. I have a scrapbook, I have a bunch of junk. I started junk journaling like years ago and then I haven't touched it since, but I want to do more of it. Reading, you know, realistically, you're not gonna sit down and read like 2 pages and feel good about that. You know, like you either are really immersed in the story and you want to be able to sit down and read for a while, or if you're not enjoying it that much, it might just take you a while to get into it and then you're never going to finish it in like 2-page bursts. So that's why that's in mains. Video editing, I love editing for others, but I also love video editing for myself, especially short form content. A few other ones that are probably a bit more universal are things like doing your nails, going for a walk, working out, taking a bath, specifically a bubble bath, or just an everything shower, making it really nice, using your nice products, and finally journaling, but just for a longer amount of time than the starter section. Now for sides, for things that we can do, you know, while we're working. Maybe it's a little bit cheeky to do that. I don't think so. I think it's completely normal and healthy. Putting on some music while you're working, like even if it's just focus music, that helps me a lot. Listening to a podcast, especially if you don't have to like write or focus that much on what you're doing. If it's kind of like tedious work, then you're able to also like focus on someone speaking. Putting on YouTube in the background. There are some YouTubers where I want to like sit down and watch the video, and there are some where I'm like, we're just hanging out. It's on in the background, and I love that for us. I love that parasocial relationship. Thank you. Thank you for posting that content. And finally, lighting a candle. I have one right there, and then I have another one that's not yet been used, but gotta work through those candles. Why not? What are you saving them for? And finally, desserts. And I think this is really cute. I wrote, only served before 10 p.m. on weekdays. Is this realistic? I don't know, but these are things that I want to be doing in moderation. And that's like watching a show or YouTube and like binge watching it, making like a literal sweet treat. I love making like this one chocolate mug cake, for example, but if I make it every single night, then it loses its like speciality. Going to restaurants and bars and like indulging a bit in terms of food, but also, you know, you're spending money. And I live in London where, you know, it's not expensive. I mean, it's not cheap to eat out. And my final dessert item is getting delivery That's one of my guilty pleasures, I must admit. And to be fair, I hardly ever do it, but if I lived alone, I probably would, like way, way more. I feel like I should add one more dessert that's not food related. I don't want to add scrolling because it's like, I don't know if that should be on the dopamine menu at all, but what's something else you can do that's like kind of should be in moderation? Okay, I went on TikTok to get some inspiration of what people have put for their desserts, and I feel validated because it seems like most people also put like food or drink items in their desserts, which I think just goes to show that we as a generation, you know, love to spend some money on cute little treats throughout the day. I think I'm stuck because I want to add, like, when you get in that mode where you're like replanning your whole life on Pinterest or maybe even on TikTok or Instagram. And it's like, it's not toxic, but I also, sometimes it's not as helpful as it seems like it could be because it's stopping you from, like, one, sleeping, or two, like, actually taking any action on the things that you want to achieve. Let's say scrolling Pinterest. No, let's say scrolling for inspiration because whatever, we don't need a brand name on my dessert menu. Okay, I think we're done with the menu. This is how it's looking so far, but now we're gonna zhuzh it up with some like hand drawing and icons. This whole process actually took me so long. I decided to go with this blue color, which aside from pink is like my favorite color. I just think it looks so nice, bold but sleek at the same time. And then I moved on to making the little handwriting dopamine menu. That font I had before was just like a placeholder. I want to use my own handwriting. I just did this in my notes app. You can like circle the text and select it, and then it becomes transparent. So I just copied and pasted that into Canva and just played around with it until I was happy with the spacing. Well, I'm done designing it and I'm setting it up for print. I'm just doing it through Canva. I did try and see if there were like cheaper printing services, but it's expensive to print on nice paper. And honestly, it seems like Canva is the cheapest, especially because most sites, you know, they think you're actually printing like menus or flyers, so then the minimum order will be 25. But I really just need one copy for myself, so. And they give you this cute little mock-up. Ooh, I'm excited. A little sneak peek, but I can't show you too much. Sorry. I don't want to show you the final design because we might as well just wait until we get it in person in our hands, and then I'll show you. It was supposed to take 8 days, but I think it's already here. At least that's what they said. Ooh, okay, this is so exciting. I thought it was coming in like a week and I was kind of upset about it. And lo and behold, it's here. I finished it on a Wednesday and put in the order. And now it's Saturday and I already got it. Okay, I'm making sure my hands are clean. What if it looks like shit? Ah, it's cute. It's not as thick as I thought it'd be. I got like the fanciest paper Canva has. I'll show you a proper close-up soon. I was kind of worried about the stickers because they're all kind of like watercolor vibes, and I thought maybe they wouldn't show up very well printed. They look really nice, and then on the back I just put my name and the year. I'm actually very happy about this. I'm gonna show you close up now. I'm so glad that I took the time to make this. I highly recommend making your own and personalizing it for the things that you like to do. I'm looking at the starters right now, feeling a little peckish. And I've done like all of these starters. Language practice, I crocheted a bit this morning, I had a coffee this morning. The only things I haven't done were taking care of my hair, like I just put my hair in a clip today, and journaling. This is just so useful for when you're like, what should I do? And then maybe even you try and like look for inspiration of what to do online, but then you just get stuck scrolling. So this is like, I can tell myself, no, I have to grab this physical menu when I'm feeling stuck and like I don't know what to do, or I'm sad, or I'm bored, or whatever it is, and I can choose from like starters, mains, sides, desserts. I'm really excited about the sides because I think sometimes I'm like, I need to focus on my work, and it's like I could have probably made my day even just like 3% more enjoyable by adding one of these sides to my work or to my cleaning or whatever it is. I'm still obsessed with the fact that I put only serve before 10 p.m. on weekdays for the desserts, because your girl loves to sleep in, and that's not a sustainable passion of mine. Like, I need to be going to bed earlier and waking up earlier, so this is a good reminder to like do these things in moderation, and even when I do them, to not leave them till like 11 p.m. at night. Kitchen's closed at that hour, okay? Anyways, I had so much fun making this. I hope you love it. Tell me what you would have done differently, or if you're going to make your own, tell me if you're gonna make it online on a platform like Canva, or if you're gonna be very impressive and do your own like scrapbook version, because those are so cute. Anyways, it is the weekend, it's Saturday like I said, so I'm going to spend the day outside, and I think I'm gonna choose go for a walk today. And for dessert, I'm actually going out to dinner with friends tonight. So there we go, we're really using this dopamine menu, and this is just so nice. It's like a nice physical reminder of a very wholesome trend on social media, which doesn't happen that often, you know? We gotta remember these moments. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or evening or whatever time it is for you. And as always, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video and you want to subscribe, please do join this wholesome little community. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!